Hi guys, so today I've got a video with a bit of a difference. I've been very kindly sent a drone from Ruko, and they have sent me this, which is the Ruko GIM2 drone. So I'm going to do an unboxing and a review. I've taken it out a few times, so I've sort of got to grips with the controls of it and how to use it, and I'll show you a clip in a bit of me taking it out in the field and then my thoughts afterwards. So first off, I'm really impressed with the packaging on this thing. It really does look and come across as a high quality piece of equipment. This is not a sub 250 gram drone, so you will have to go online onto the Civil Aviation Authority and do a test to be able to fly this. So you need to get an operator's ID and a flying license as well. The test is about 30 minutes or so, 40 questions. They are multiple choice questions, and so long as you read the information and the rulings beforehand, it's easy. I think I scored 38 out of 40. It took me about half an hour. Now, one of the things with the sub 250 gram drones is you don't have to pass that test, which sounds great, and there's less limitations, but there are still limitations that a lot of people don't know about, and I have seen a few people get in trouble for using a smaller drone because they think they can use it absolutely anywhere, and you can't. So I think taking this test is not a bad thing. It gives you a bit more education about flying a drone, what you should and shouldn't be doing, not just the obvious common sense things, but also the legalities of flying a drone around whatever area you might be in. So let's get the box open and I'll show you what you get. So inside it comes very nicely wrapped in this Ziploc bag, which I'll just put it back in to show you how well it's presented. The package itself, got a nice strong hard case for it with a carry handle, double zips that go all the way around so you can then get into the drone. The box is pretty oversized, I think, for what it is, and I have ordered a small chest pack to be able to carry this about with me. So inside, first off, you get the remote controller. So your phone goes in here, handles pop out like so, and then you've got two antennae on the top for the GPS signal for connecting to your drone. It is USB-C chargeable from there. You get two USB-C leads within the pack as well. I've got plenty, so I tend to use them. You also get a spare battery, so you have two batteries with this pack. These have a runtime of 28 minutes, so you've got 56 minutes in total, and this comes all in one package. You don't have to buy it separately like you do with some manufacturers. The drone itself, as I say, this is not a 250 gram drone, but it's not a bad little size. It feels really sturdy, very well made, very solid. The legs, arms, whatever you want to call them, click out and they lock in position with a nice solid clunk. I have had one minor accident with this. You'll see it on the upcoming video, and it took it no problem at all. Got up and it went off again and flew perfectly well. As you can see, I've got my operator ID on the side here, so I've stuck that on so that if anyone finds this or I get into trouble for any reason and this is somewhere where it shouldn't be, then they can bring that back to me. The gimbal on the front has a little cover on it. This is a bit fiddly to get off, I find. I think I'm probably doing it the wrong way. And there is your 2-axis gimbal, but it's also got stabilization on it as well, so the gimbal will go sideways, up and down, but stability on it seems to be really fantastic when it's out in the field. Okay, so I just fold this back up. Micro SD card. Okay, so micro SD card goes on the side here, and you've got a USB charger on this side here for the battery. And as I say, you get two batteries with this as well, so you can have plenty of flight time. In the zip section here, you then have three booklets. You've got a main user manual which goes into all the in-depth details of everything about the drone itself. You've got a disclaimer and safety guidelines, obviously an idiot proof, tell you what you should and shouldn't do, and then a quick start guide. I have found this is, once you've got used to it, it is very easy to set up and get flying. You just, like anything that's new, you just need to get used to the routine and know what to do. You also have a pack of spare blades in case you damage any of them. So you've got there's two sets of blades in here. and you've got screws, additional screws, and an Allen key as well to be able to refit the blades if you need. And then you have your two USB-C cables as well. So I'm going to show you how the controller works, and hopefully this shows up on screen. You press the on button twice, and then it gives you a display. Now this will probably flicker because of the LED lights on it, but basically on here it shows you your mode that you're in. So this is basically the speed of the drone itself. You've got three modes. You've got camera mode, normal mode, and then you've got sport mode. And there's quite a difference between the camera mode and the sport mode, but obviously camera mode gives you a nice smooth flight, and much better for video or videography. Down here you then got the distance that it is away from you, the height that it is away from you, the speed in meters per second. You can change that as well. And then this side here is your battery level of the drone itself. So it tells you what battery strength is in the drone, but also when your phone is connected to it, there is a green line across the top of the phone which shows the battery slowly going down as you're using it, which I think is a great little addition. I'll power on the drone and I'll attach it, and I'll show you how this works. Simply press and hold it. It then starts to try to connect. So it's trying to connect with the drone itself at the moment, and as you can see there, the GPS antennae are trying to attach to it. It does take about 40 seconds for that to happen. That's now attached. As you can see, these are flashing. It now tells you to calibrate the compass. So what you do with this is you turn it around. You hear a beep, 360 degrees. You then turn it with the camera facing up until you hear two beeps. It is now fully connected. As you can see, it's in GPS mode. What it will do is it takes about 20 seconds. The gimbal has now just straightened itself out. So after about 20 seconds, the gimbal, once it's on a flat surface, uses the compass on the controller and levels itself out. So you've got a nice, clear, straight view. So going into the controls on the app itself, basically you have on the screen three buttons here. So you've got automatic takeoff there, you've got return to home there, so you can just press that and it will immediately come back once you confirm it. This button here brings you up several different options. So you've got image follow, GPS follow. Now image follow is where you draw a square around the image you want to follow. Now it will not power the drone towards it and follow it sideways or backwards and forwards. The drone will stay at its point of GPS and it will simply pan. So it will follow something that is going past it, say a car or something that's moving, but it won't actually move the drone itself to follow it. If you use GPS mode, then that will. So that will follow you while you're carrying this controller. Next you've got music. There's various different music options that you can have in the background. You then got the VR headset, so you can use this using a virtual reality headset. You then have the lens angle. So with this you can change the lens angle, so you can move the gimbal up and down if you don't want to use the actual button on the side of the controller here. And I do find that it's a bit smoother using that than it is using the button. You've then got gesture, photo and gesture video. So if you put two fingers up to the drone, it will take a picture of you, and if you hold a hand up, then it will start to video you as well. And you've also got route. So you can set this to go a specific track, so you can choose the map so you can see where you are, and you can set a waypoint for it to go to there, to there, to there, and then back home again, wherever you want it, and you press go, and the drone will just fly that way automatically in any set route that you put. You then have various filter options. So again, you can change. I'm not connected to it at the moment, but you can change the filters. And then you've also got zoom, so you can use the same zoom control on here as you can on the button for the controller itself there. Again, this is smoother, but remember, it doesn't record the zoom. It only shows you the zoom on the screen. Other options you've got on here, if you press that button, it takes you into your previous recording, so you can see these are automatically downloaded onto your phone. So while you're filming and recording, it automatically downloads that. So if you were to lose the drone or something happens to the SD card, then it is always on here. And this button up here will format the SD card if you've got a new SD card in there that needs formatting. If you go into the three buttons in the top right hand corner here, This shows you where you've got it in beginner mode, so you can turn that on or off, and if it's off you can then set the distance control up to 3 kilometers, your maximum height and your maximum return altitude when it's on automatic come home. Ideally you want to look at your surroundings and set that accordingly, because I originally had it set up to about 50 and it goes up and then starts to head back, which is a bit of a pain. So you can set that the way you want it. On the track section here, this gives you all the flight information, all the flight records that you've got, and also find drones. So if you go into here, it will use the GPS and it will pick up your drone. So if you do lose it, it drops somewhere in the middle of a field half a mile away, you can actually get back to your drone using this within a short radius of a few meters anyway, so you should be able to find it. And I think that's a great little piece of equipment and an excellent function on it. Then you've got the Ptz Adjust. Basically this is for calibration, where you can fine-tune the roll and the pitch and then restore factory settings. So to take a photo, you've got photo and video mode here. You simply press that button to take a picture, or bring it down and press the button to film. And here down the bottom corner also is the compass that shows you where your drone is facing, so if it's in front of you, behind you, and which way it's pointing, using that the green bars that are on there. I found that really handy. When it goes out of sight and you can't really see it, you can tell when you're coming back or heading left or right. You also have an option on here, you've got learn videos, so this takes you straight into YouTube, and it shows you some, well, I haven't really got a signal here, but it shows you some videos on how to fly your drone using the Ruko video type tutorial guide on there. And then this button at the bottom here is your guide. So in here, the books that you get, or the leaflets that tell you all about it, you've got a full manual, you've got the quick start guide, the disclaimer guide as well, and then learn to fly videos on there, and a help manual. So this is exactly what you would get if you were to open your manual. It's just fully attached to the phone, so if you did lose it, then you've always got this built in with the app, which again, fantastic little feature I think. Okay, so enough talk about the drone, let's get it out and see what it can really do. Okay, so first off, let's get the drone out of the box and set up. So you put the main front legs first, then the rear legs. They do snap into place in a very nice solid feel. As you can see, I have my flyer ID on there, so if this gets lost or someone finds it, then hopefully they can track me down, or if I do something I shouldn't be doing, then I'll be looked after accordingly. Okay, so I now get my my phone out, go into the drone app. Okay, so we go into controls. This just basically tells you how to set it all up. So essentially what you do is we power the drone on by holding this button. Okay, so I'm going to turn the controller on. Pull the antenna out and put my phone inside. The controller is now trying to connect to the drone. Okay, so that's connected. Now just connect to the Ruko GIM2 Wi-Fi, so that the phone is just pairing up with that. Okay, that is connected. Right, so we now need to calibrate the drone. So basically what we do is we just turn this, and you hear a beep, and then I'll take the cover off the camera for now. We turn it upright with the camera facing up, it beeps twice. If you then set it down on a flat level surface, it will start to calibrate and should set the gimbal straight. Just take about 20 seconds or so for this to happen. And there you go, see that goes straight on the screen now. Okay, so now she's all ready. SD card is inserted. Put it onto video. Start the drone, basically pull these two levers down and in, and hold it. Now we're on GPS mode at the moment. So we've got sport mode, camera mode. So that's the slowest mode. As you can see the bars going up on the side here, normal mode and then sport mode. So I'm going to put it on camera mode, so that should give me the smoothest movement and flight that you can get. So to take off, we can either press this button here, or we can just push upwards. It turns off after a few seconds, as you can see, if you haven't done anything with it. So I'll start her up again. And then I'll do takeoff mode from my screen. unlock to take off. And away she goes. Now it's a pretty windy day today, and this has apparently got level 7 wind resistance, so it should be pretty good, but it is quite a windy day. So control's very simple. As you can see, the GPS is keeping it there. It's bouncing about a bit in the wind, but the camera quality, the picture of it is very solid. Just formatting the SD card. Okay, so record. So basically, controls, we push this forward to go up, backwards to go down, left and right will pan it left and right, and then to go forward, you use the right joystick. Now, that joystick will go forward and it will go backwards, but it also your left and right as well, so we can pan directly sideways, left and right. And one thing I do want to check is to make sure that I'm not in, so I'm in, beginner mode is switched off, so that's fine. Return altitude, just going to drop that down to 20 meters, which is fine. So the actual turning is still just quite quick. I'd like it to be slower. Let's see how smooth it can be if I just use a soft touch on the joystick. Yeah, it's just getting used to the sensitivity of that. I can't find a way of turning down the sensitivity, because when you put it full, it will shoot round like so. Right, let's go and do a bit of a... I'm going to get it up high and go and have a look at that. Right, same distances. Quit beginner mode, yes. Okay, flight distance. Flight altitude max, return altitude 20, save it. It does seem to always default to go back into beginner mode, which obviously helps you from losing it. Right, let's go and have a look over there. We've got a lake down there. So I'm in the slowest mode at the moment. Now if I wanted to change the angle of the camera, I can drop it down like so. So we're just heading over that lake now. You can see the distance down here. We're 145 meters, traveling at 3.6 meters per second. So this is in its slowest mode. Now I can also zoom in on the lake. Now what I like is this little compass down here, so it shows which way I'm facing away from me, so I can turn the drone, head off to the right. Let's pan over that way. You can see the sea in the background there. I'm currently 250 meters away. Battery strength is shown at the top here. Okay, I'm going to try the return to home function now. So this button here with the H on it says confirm return to home. Press that, it immediately flips around and starts to head back. So it's heading back to me. I can hear it now. Just angle the camera down so you can see me, that white square where it took off. Okay, so it's directly above me now. It's gone a little bit past it. And it should now be descending. 16, 15 meters. There we go. Nice soft landing. Missed its pickup point by about 4 feet, but you know what? I'll be using that in an emergency, so I'm quite happy with that. So okay, I'm now going to use the GPS follow mode. So if we go into these options, we've got image follow and GPS follow. So as long as I've got the phone on me, this will always follow where I go. So I'm going to start her up. I call it her, that's very sexist nowadays, isn't it? Right, so I'm going to get myself in the shot. Okay, so I press GPS follow and test this out. GPS follow seems to work really, really well. It should keep the same distance away from me. Follow the route that I'm doing. Just gotta make sure it's high enough to get above the trees that I'm about to walk past. Just make it. Literally just. That was a good guess of height. Okay, now I'll turn around, head back. Yeah, it's doing a really good job of that. I'm pretty central in the screen. The only thing that tends to change is the undulations on the road that I'm on. The path will make me drop lower in the screen or higher. So you can either change that with the gimbal movement. Okay, so the other thing I want to try now is the, if I come out of that, switch that off, so I've exit follow me now, and I'm going to try and do a point of interest, so this will circle it around an object that I pick. So I'm going to head out to that tree that's just over there. And try and get just above it. So let's bring the camera down. Okay, that's pretty much above it. What you do is you hold the camera and photo button, or the video and the photo button, and it beeps, and you can see there it says fly around. Hopefully you can see that on the screen. So once that's beeped, we can then change we move the drone back to where we want it to go to start from. Get the camera angle right. And if I press these two buttons again, okay, so let's just try that. So that should circle around that tree, hopefully quite nicely now. Well, it looks like it's working really well. It's like anything with the stuff that's new, and obviously different things work different ways, and I'm no expert when it comes to flying drones, but you just need to try it a couple of times so you know exactly how it works, and then it's relatively simple after that. Okay, so that's just done a circle. Right, I'm going to fly it back to me now, and I'm going to do tracks. So I can set this to go certain routes. Okay, so we've now got route rules. So I'm going to change the map so I can actually see the terrain, so that I know where I am. So I'm going to do waypoint 1 here, waypoint 2 there, waypoint 3 there. In fact, waypoint 4, you can hear it battling against the wind there, here, and then press go, and the wind is really picking up. We're quite low on battery, so it'd be interesting to see this. So there's waypoint 1, 2, 3. Okay, let's try some more cinematic moves. We'll put it in camera mode, slow mode. Okay, I'm going to bring it back and just try it in a sport mode, see what that difference is like on the speed. So this is its fastest setting. That's noticeably different. Whoa, shite. Totally my fault. As you can see, the drone does not have obstacle avoidance, but it crashed into that bush just there and dropped right down inside it, but it looks perfectly okay, so let's see if we can take it off again. Yeah, she's fine. I'll probably stick to normal mode till my skills improve. So, clarity of the video. Waving about a bit. Okay, it's in GPS mode now, so I will stop the video and just take a picture. See what that comes out like. Let's do another one. Okay, we'll go to, it's back on video recording now. Right, that's recording video. Turn around. Let's go Just spin it around so you can see the drone itself. Fairly steady in the air at the moment. It's moving about a bit. Just testing the GPS to see how well it works. There's a bit of a wind. It's pretty stable. So final thoughts on the drone. It took me a couple of goes to get used to it properly, and I think that's going to be the same with anything. I am no expert drone flyer. Once you did, I found it extremely easy. I did crash it once, as you saw on the video, but essentially what I was doing was I was flying towards a bush, and what I should have done was just let go of the controls. It would have immediately just stopped, and that would have been it. It would have stayed where it was. Instead, I tried to go up quickly, and I went down instead of going up. So I hit the bush and went into it. No damage done, obviously, works perfectly fine. I find the controls are quite simple once you start to get used to it. It works really well. Sport mode is great fun, it's really quick. Cinematic sort of slow footage that you get with the camera mode works really well. I am struggling with the sensitivity of the pan, so when you actually turn the drone itself, it's quite quick, and when I'm trying to do it slowly with my fingers, my thumb's a bit shaky. There doesn't seem to be a way of turning down the sensitivity, but I think it's just a matter of getting used to it as well, and maybe you could slow it down post edit anyway. The follow me option is fantastic, works really well. I'm quite impressed with that, and I can see myself using that quite a lot. The orbit option as well, where it can go around a particular point, is a bit finicky. You do have to get that right. Essentially, whatever you want to go around, if you want to film around it from here, you need to go above it, take a point, in which you use the two buttons on the camera and the video button, take a point, and then move back, maneuver down, and then press go again, and it will go around that point there. It does take a little bit of getting used to, but as I say, once I've done it once or twice, absolutely fine. Now when we compare this drone to its competition, everyone's going to probably look at the DJI. There are a lot of budget drones out there that tend not to have the sort of facilities and specification that come with this drone, and I did a lot of research before I did the video, and I did a lot of research before I used it, and every single review is extremely positive, even from people who are very experienced with high-end drones. So this is a competitively priced and a very good competitor to those higher end drones, as opposed to the cheaper ones you can get out of the market. Now you can find this drone for somewhere around the region of £475. I will put a link in the description below where you can purchase it, but there are lots of places that you can buy it from. If you compare it to, say, a DJI, most people are looking at the Mini 3 at the moment. The DJI Mini 3 is £709 on its own, so you're looking at £250 more. That is without the expansion pack. So if you want a spare battery on that as well, it's another £159. So suddenly you're about £500 cheaper. It doesn't have the same level wind resistance as this does. It is a great drone. Obviously DJI make fantastic products, but it's considerably more expensive, and the benefits that you get with it, well, the only thing that I can see realistically is the obstacle avoidance. You do not get obstacle avoidance with this drone. Now, that would have saved me a small accident, but I think unless you're going to be doing some extreme flying, I don't really think obstacle avoidance is that big an issue. Time will tell. If I end up smashing this drone up, then we know that it is. But as far as the competition seems, there's not a lot in it, and this is considerably cheaper. If you looked at a comparable drone to this, it's to be around a third of the price. So this is a fantastic little product. It is a great drone. It's very easy to fly. I'm not an experienced flyer of drones, so for me to be able to do this as easy as I have done just shows that it's a very simple setup. Have a little play with it. You will enjoy it. It's great fun. It also adds some fantastic cinematic shots to your filming as well. So I'm going to be taking this out on my camps going forward and doing some more filming. So a massive thanks to Ruko for sending this drone out to me. It's much appreciated. I will continue to use this on future videos and on future camps, and I think it's going to add a bigger perspective and a better view of where I go and where I camp, because at the moment I'm limited to one single camera that is based on the ground. So if you want to see those future videos, hit the subscribe button, hit the notification bell so that you know when they're coming up, and I will see you guys all in the next video.